I don't know where to begin. Perhaps because the story contains so much cruelty and betrayal that it makes my words stifle my tongue, but I will try to tell it as I heard it, without adding or subtracting anything, and I'll leave the final judgment to you. That day, my husband and I were roaming the streets of the Hanover district of Alexandria, searching for a home suitable for our small family, which would grow in a few months. The weather was warm, the sea was nearby, and the city had a distinct scent, a mixture of the saltiness of the sea and the scent of the old neighborhoods. The broker directed us to a property he described as a rare opportunity, a small villa, about 150 square meters in size, surrounded by a large, neglected garden. From the first glance, I noticed that the place was expertly designed, but something about it was unsettling. I don't know, perhaps it was the strange calm that surrounded it, or the broker's hesitant look when we asked him why he was selling it. He smiled demurely and said, "The owner is traveling and wants to settle abroad. The house has been on the market for 2 years and still hasn't been sold." His words sounded normal, but the way he spoke betrayed something. My husband tried to draw him in, and we learned that the villa's owner was the son of a well-known heavy equipment dealer in Alexandria. He was a spoiled young man who didn't work and spent most of his time at home. We left the place and decided to sit at a nearby cafe before continuing our tour. There, while we sipped tea, the cafe owner began telling us the story that had left this house abandoned, despite its prime location and attractive price. The story began in 2010. There was a little girl, 6 years old, the only daughter of a prominent businessman working in the car trade. One summer day, the mother and her daughter went on vacation to Hanover, as they usually did. A full day later, the girl disappeared. The mother waited 24 hours before reporting the matter to the police, claiming she had probably gone out to play and would return. The police began an investigation but found no trace. The heartbroken father, not content with the police's efforts, offered a huge financial reward, unprecedented at the time, for anyone who could provide information about his daughter.
8 months passed, and all the reports were false, seeking only money. Strangely, the mother was unusually cold, as if the loss of her daughter meant nothing to her. The police began monitoring her movements and noticed that whenever she got a vacation, she would head to a villa in Hanover, owned by a young man named Weil A.M., the son of a wealthy merchant. The garden was completely neglected, and weeds covered the area, despite the young man's constant presence there. As the surveillance continued, the secret was revealed. The mother was having an illicit relationship with this young man, who was several years younger than her, and she took her daughter with her. During the investigation, the mother admitted that she had left her daughter playing in the street until she finished her meetings, but the truth was even more horrific. Employees at a restaurant they frequented testified about Weil's abuse of the child. One waiter even had to intervene once when he started severely beating her, but he claimed she was his daughter and that it was a family matter. All the clues led to one place, but the police had no physical evidence until that day. One of the investigators, on his way out of the area, decided to take a side street. He stopped his car in front of a cemetery and got out to smoke a cigarette. There, he spotted the cemetery guard trying to flee at the sight of him. They stopped him, and before they could ask him any questions, he began to justify his actions, saying that he hadn't buried the body himself and that he had refused to do so without a burial permit. When they asked him which body he was referring to, he told them the whole story. He said that a man and a woman came to him with the body of a child wrapped in a blue bedsheet.
He noticed a thick black liquid dripping from the cover and knew it was blood. He asked for a burial permit, but they offered him 10,000 Egyptian pounds to bury her. He refused, so they asked him to accompany them to another location. He took them to Wiles' villa, where in the back garden he buried the body with his own hands. When the police confronted the mother and her lover, the whole story unraveled. The mother admitted that the child had annoyed Wiles while she was there, so he kicked her, causing her head to hit the nightstand and her blood to flow. Instead of providing medical treatment, they left her to bleed to death. They wrapped her in the blue blanket and took her to the cemetery. The court sentenced Wiles to death and the mother to life imprisonment for mutilation, moving the victim's body. However, after appeal, the sentence was reduced to manslaughter. With the events of January 2011, Wiles escaped from prison before serving even a quarter of his term. Today, Wiles is free, and her mother has disappeared completely. The father left Egypt and traveled abroad, leaving behind a scandal and an unhealed wound. I learned from this story that betrayal knows no bounds. It's a ladder that leads its perpetrator to the lowest levels of decadence and perhaps to murder.